Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. So when you look in the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verses 2, they are about to leave Egypt. Literally, we're at the final stretch of this saga. And soon, God will inflict the 10th and final plague on the Egyptians. And they're going to, quote, as God said, beg you to leave. They're going to force you to leave and get out of their country. But prior to that, God says to Moses in this verse, Daber na ba'aznei ha'am. Speak, please, to the people. The word na means please, I beg you. Speak to the people and let them go and borrow from their neighbors and friends, from their acquaintances, all the goodies, all the jewels, all the diamonds, all the beautiful garments, all the gold and the silver. Why does God say, please? We know that normally God speaks to Moses and he says, say to the people, tell to the people, talk to the people. Say please to the people? Well, the sages in the Talmud tell us what's behind this. You see, God says to him, please, I ask you, make sure that this is accomplished. Make sure that this is taken care of. Why? Because if the Jews leave from Egypt after all this time that they've been afflicted here, and they don't leave with all this wealth, with all these goodies, then I'm going to have a problem. You know, Abraham, that old great righteous man, well, he's going to come and complain and say, wait, in the covenant of the pieces, back in Genesis chapter 15, you foretold me about this enslavement. And indeed, I see it happen. However, if you look in chapter 15 in the book of Genesis, verse 14, it says, quote, and afterwards they will leave with great wealth. How come you didn't fulfill this part? Wow. So there is an emphasis on wealth? You think Abraham will care? This really would matter to him? More than his children, his descendants finally being freed, being relieved from this affliction? And here God again makes this emphasis. And in fact, when we reminisce about the great miracles of the Exodus of Egypt, yes, we highlight one of the aspects we highlight is the fact that God was so kind to us and we left with great wealth. I mean, it seems so mundane. Is this really what we're about? Is this what the Torah is about? The answer is yes and yes. Let me explain. You see, of course, there are people that unfortunately attributed the wrong ideas to wealth, to success. To them, it's a status symbol. To them, it becomes a source of ego and arrogance. Of course, that's bad. To them, unfortunately, it is a source of their downfall as they become very attached to their money. They become very attached to the mundane, or worse, because of all this wealth. But really, wealth was put in this world for a positive purpose, like everything else. God put it in this world so when we have those resources, we could, quote, elevate the world. We could make the world a better place. We could, in fact, infuse holiness into the world and into those very items themselves, those very items that for some perhaps may be their source of negativity, may be their root of vainism and the opposite of the divine. For one who uses it properly, this becomes an actual source, a real-time resource to serve God better, to be elevated to the divine, and with that, elevate the entire world. So in short, Is it okay to be wealthy? Absolutely. Is it an ideal to be wealthy? Absolutely. If God blesses you with that, that is proof that God wants you to take that and make with it what he truly desired, what he truly envisioned for the world. And that is a place which is purposeful, a place which is meaningful, a place which is divine and connected to God all the time.